Hello, Friday Night Live 11. Great to have everyone here on a beautiful Australia Day, hence the Australia Day flag. Say good day if you're here. Be great to know I'm not the only one here on a Friday night on Australia Day. So that will be really, really good. So tonight is all about questions. I've gone back through some of the old Facebook Lives and had a look at some questions, and we've got some news and some updates from around the world tonight. So yes, I'm really looking forward to tonight, even though it's a Australia Day Friday night. What did everyone do for their Australia Day? Hope you had a good time. There's a few on here already. Michael and Mike, Denham, Mick's here, Rodney, Evan. G'day guys, how are we? Great to have you involved. Damo's here. I've got to talk about you in a minute, Damo. Yes, so we've got some updates from Warren from NQ Explorers. Some updates from here at the shop. Justin's fishing. G'day Justin. And Brett's here. How go guys? How we going? Right, so let's talk about g'day David and Nadia. Let's talk about the giveaways for tonight. So tonight we're going to do, I've got two numbers down here. They'll be mystery numbers. And I will just pick out the random comment that is. One of them is the old favourite, a gold pan kit, so we'll get that out to someone on Monday. And then the second thing I want to talk about is, I'm not quite sure who mentioned this to me, but these cool towels. Someone mentioned it a couple of Friday Night Lives ago about these cool towels. Now, I hadn't really heard of them. I'd sort of heard a few rumours about them. But the young bloke and I walked into a shopping centre the other day, and lo and behold, they had cool towels. So and I didn't think much of them. They were two for $25. And that's what they look like. They are just a towel with a funny pattern on it, and they're about 90 centimetres long by 30 centimetres wide. So what you do with them, the instructions are in the back, is you wet them, you shake them out, you wring it out, and it actually, and it works, as long as that towel's wet, it's like 3 or 4 degrees. It's freezing cold. So I was quite amazed from them. We're going to be getting them into the shop very, very shortly. So I was that impressed with them. So we're going to send out as a little present, the one that the young bloke didn't tear open, a cool towel. But they're fantastic. So I think you'll enjoy those. So again, random number written down here, and I'll draw it out at the end of the night. Excuse me. Ricky's here. G'day, Ricky. Aaron, Deb. Deb's here twice. G'day, Deb. Aaron's in Bali. Happy Australia Day from Bali. Great, mate. I bet you it's warm up there. Yeah, Deb, they work out really. Those things, I know that was a bit of a sarcastic comment, but I'm amazed by those towels. So, yes. Brian's enjoyed his Australia Day by the look of things here. So, Ben, I was amazed by him. I'd never heard of him. I'd sort of heard of him, but didn't think much of it. But yeah. Well, Josh, it has been warm in here. Josh asked whether this is going to be part of the new outfit for Friday Night Live. Quite possibly. I might have to have it slung over my shoulders or something. But they also use them for like gym towels and things like that because they're super absorbent. And what was interesting and a little disturbing on the packet, it says it actually also works off your sweat. So if you're sweating and you wipe it and the towel gets wet and you shake it out, it will actually go cold with just your sweat, which is a bit disgusting, but you know, if you're short on water, that's probably not a bad option. So, Denham's here. How are you, Denham? So we'll go straight to some news. I think we'll start off with. First off, I'd like to just say, if you have an opportunity and you'd like to, please like this post and share this post. We want to try and break through and get a fair few more people involved. What that means is we get a lot more companies wanting to sponsor it, and the more companies we get to sponsor it, the prizes will be dramatically better. So if you can, that'd be great if you could share it. So, right, so I just want to talk about Damo, who's on the feed here tonight. I saw him there earlier. Damo was doing a park and up in central Queensland there, and found, I think it was 2.6 gram gold nugget. Now Damo's only a young bloke. I'm not quite sure how old he is. He probably doesn't. I probably won't share his age, but he's only a young bloke, and he hit his first gold nugget, which is absolutely incredible. On our Facebook page, I shared a video of where they went and got it tested, and it's quite an interesting video actually for how they test gold nuggets and that sort of thing. So if you feel like it's only a couple of minutes long, but go and watch that. It's actually quite an interesting video about how a jeweller actually tests the carats of natural gold, raw gold just straight out of the ground, and how it works. So the young guns are really, really smashing it strong up there. G'day Nicole. Who else is here? Warren's in from Las Vegas. 1:30 in the morning, Warren. That's a late night and an early start. G'day, Warren. I've got a bit of an update on you. I've been watching your posts. So fantastic to see you, Warren, here. It's a big effort to be up at 1:30 in the morning in Las Vegas. I hope you're not watching it over a card table or a roulette table or something or other, mate. So, yes. Brian, plenty of nuggets in Vegas, yeah. Yep. I hope Warren's in what's the big casino over there that's got the, isn't it Hand of Faith, I think, is over there? One of the big casinos, probably Gold Nugget Casino or something or other. So, g'day Beck. Damo, that's a good find. And as I said, I mentioned it to you that a lot of people struggle to find the first gold nugget, and it will take time. You're learning the machine, you're learning all about it, and then what seems to happen is you get it, you know you can do it, and then you're away, and they become easy. They're not easy to find, but they become easier to find. So, yes. Oh, Warren's not at the Gold Nugget Casino. He should be. He should be sending us a photo of the Hand of Faith. So, but so Warren has been over in the States, and hopefully in the next couple of weeks we'll get Warren on to give us an update of what his adventures have been. He's been detecting over there. I've seen a fair few photos of his. They've been chasing some gold and some relics over there. They've had success with both, I believe. But some of the photos, he's detecting in the snow, which is just like it'll be 32 or 33 degrees here. It's hot as hell here. So to be the other side of the world and detecting in the snow is just a bit mind-boggling to me. So yes. So Warren's over there. So it'll be very, very interesting to hear what he what he's been up to, and maybe we can convince him to bring some of the American targets he brings back that he's found over there, and maybe we'll do a bit of a show and tell like we did last week on the show with Craig. And thanks a lot for Craig. Everyone seemed to enjoy that show, so that was phenomenal, Craig. So for those who don't know who I am, I'm Ben from Gold Diggers. We do this every Friday night, so please join us, share the post, and let's see if we can get that get our viewership up as much as we possibly can. And on that, through the week I did a little tiny video, some of you saw it, where we reached 10,000 likes, and there's a lot of people I've thanked for their participation in what we do here, and we try and give honest and straight up advice to people. So thank you all for joining the show, coming into the shop, purchasing something off us. It's fantastic, and I'm overwhelmed by the support. So thanks very much for that. Okay, so some little bits of announcements. Anyone out there with an XP Deus machine? There's a new update out. 4.1's out. I haven't updated my Deus machine as yet, or the ones in the shop. But apparently, it's a fantastic update. It really does. There's a little bit more depth you get out of it, yeah. So as soon as you possibly can, you just plug it into your computer. You have to delete the latest update if you already updated it once. Delete the latest update. Log in, grab the other update onto your computer and load it onto your machine. It'll make a difference in your detecting, that's for sure. Michael and a couple of other people wanted a demo on how the AT Max, what a gold nugget sounds like compared to a hot rock or a ironstone or a mineralised target. So we're going to have a crack at that. I don't know whether it'll work with all this electronics on. If it doesn't work tonight, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take it down and find a little mineralised patch and do a little video, and we might put it up next week on just to show you the difference between what that sounds like. So we'll do that in a minute. We just got a few questions here. Rodney asks here, g'day Rodney, how are you? Is there a etiquette to where to detect? Well, you legally have to have permission. There's certainly a etiquette, a metal detecting etiquette, I should say. And you want to leave the place better than what you found it, so that means taking all the rubbish with you. You want to fill all your holes in. You want to, if you're digging in parks and places like that, you want to cut nice, neat plugs. And what I mean by plugs is you cut the grass out in a little plug so you can put the grass back in and no one knows you're there. And there's a bit of common sense to it too, Rodney, in that, you know, you don't want to be, if you're down the beach, you don't want to be detecting right next to someone. There's a number of those things. I will actually put a post of the metal detecting etiquette on the page after the show, and I'll put that up on the page so everyone can have a look at it. But yes, Bushland Reserve. Nadia asked if you get in trouble for a Bushland Reserve. Yes, no, maybe. I know that I've got permission to go into one simply because the people who managed the place came and saw me, and they weren't cranky, but they weren't thrilled with me being in there detecting. I didn't know who to approach or anything like that. And I actually had with me a garbage bag full of rubbish, and I just said to them, this is what I'm doing. I'm cleaning up all the rubbish. I'm looking for good targets. I'm finding some coins. I was actually looking for gold. There was no gold in that area. And they were like, sweet, come back every time. So, you know, legally, you're supposed to have permission anywhere you go. So that's the rules. So, we've got a few questions about the Right Detector and people, and that's a big question. So, pardon me. It really does depend on what sort of detecting you want to do. Any machine, first off, I would stick to the well-known brands. I would stick to Garrett, Minelab, XP, some of the Bounty Hunter stuff, some of the Technetic stuff is great. But I would stick to those major brands. First thing about it is you get good resale if you get 12 months down the road and you're not using it and you want to sell it on. So you get good resale. So that's fantastic, that side of things. So then it's what do you want to do? A beach machine, a good beach machine would be a different machine to somewhere if you just want to go and find coins in the local park, or on the other extreme if you want to go and find gold nuggets. Completely different machine. So that's where you need to start. So there's some really, really good machines out there. So we go through that in a little bit more detail. People are Nicole, no, that's not coffee. Brian, it's not Scotch. So yes, it's just what it is. Right, so SDC's a good machine. Brian and Rodney are talking about the 350s. The 350s are an old machine now. They're replaced by the 400. Dramatically better machine. Simply because we're talking about Garrett machine. Garrett Ace 350 was replaced by the 400. The 400 gets you better depth and it gives you a target ID number. So they are very, very good machines. That's true. Lisa, cheap versus expensive. Is there cheap, good detectors? Lisa, you got to go to, in my opinion, you got to go about $300 or $400 to get a good machine. Anything below that, you know, you go to some of these big box stores and they've got a metal detector sitting there. I have seen some rubbishy detectors from those big box stores. So really, you've got to go to $300 for me. So, Aaron, yes, that's a very, very good suggestion. That BJ, it's not orange juice. I can guarantee it's not orange juice. Yes. Trisha's been out fossicking today. How did you go, Trisha? It's a warm day. Yeah, Brian, absolutely. Good on you. That's what Brian's had a few to drink. I can remember the 350. Yes, I have moments like that myself. So Lisa, just to go a little bit further on that, if you want to go gold prospecting and you want to really get serious about it, you really need a machine that can tune the ground out. And what I mean by that, it's got a ground balancer on it. So it just tunes the ground out so you don't hear as much ground noise. You will still hear some. And they start, I think the Land Ranger Pro from Bounty Hunter starts at $750, something like that. That's sort of about the cheapest of the ground balancing machines you want to go to. You're much better off with like the XP Deus, Garrett, AT Max, AT Gold, AT Pro. I haven't used it yet, but the Minelab Gold Monster, I hear good and bad things about. So a lot of that's user. The AT Max is a great all-round machine. So that's sort of a bit of a rough idea. It's very similar on the beach as well. You need a ground balancing machine on the beach in the wet sand. In the dry sand, you don't necessarily need it. So, yeah, so it's that's sort of a rough place to start. So, yes. Oh, Trisha's got a lot of thunder eggs. Awesome. Trisha, did you cut them at home, or and did you find them on your place, or were you somewhere else, Lisa? Trisha, I should say. So, be interesting. So, okay, so yeah, so the other thing too, if you're looking to buy a machine, and this is a blatant plug for our shop, but if you're looking to buy a machine, we have just in the last week, we've just installed a new website, and we've got a new logo, which I haven't got up here at the moment, but so with the new logo, we've got we've had to build a new website completely. So with building the new website, there's the new logo. With building the new website, we've also added Zip Pay and Afterpay. So what they do is you sign up. They're like an interest-free sort of arrangement. So what it means is you can actually pay for your detector in I think it's 4 equal instalments over a couple of weeks each. So it makes buying a machine, like if you're looking at buying a $1,000 machine, let's say, and you've been saving up, you're $700 and you really want to do it, that's a really good situation for using Afterpay, because you split the 300 into 4 payments over 8 or 10 weeks, job done. So, and you get the machine straight away. So that's the beauty of Zip Pay and Afterpay. So they'll be available on our website, ready to go. Zip Pay's ready to go now. Afterpay, I think it'll be Tuesday or Wednesday before they get it up. So, yes. So that's what we're working on at the moment. And that is the new logo. So we've got a little bit of the Eureka flag up there, and we changed the colour to, a colour that I like a little bit better, so, or a different colour. So we're getting badges made, and we might even give some away. And I think some of you have seen the videos. I wear a cowboy hat, a straw cowboy hat. I like those straw hats. They're much cooler than an Akubra in the heat. So I'm having some of them made up as well with the logo on them, and I might even. We're talking about at the moment making up a hat that might just have "I'm a gold digger" on it or something or other. We're working on that, so that'll be a bit of fun. So it'll be good. So. Oh, thanks, guys. I'm glad you like the logo. Yeah, Justin, we're working on that. And Nicole, thank you. So we're working on some clothing and hats and all that sort of stuff. So we've just been we've spent this entire year just working on the website and getting that working, because it's a pain in the what have you. So, yes, Zip Pay's better than Afterpay. Afterpay, a lot more people have Afterpay, and what that does is it actually just only splits it into 4 payments, where Zip Pay is more of an interest-free thing where you can pay a little bit each month over a longer period of time. So Zip Pay's up and running. Afterpay will be up and running come Wednesday or Thursday, so at the latest. So yes. So a pink cowboy straw hat. Well, Tricia, that's something special, isn't it? As long as it's got the Gold Diggers logo on it, I'll wear it. Don't worry about that, Trish. So, yes, you've got to, like, Michael makes a good point with these payment, where you're paying, interest-free and all that sort of thing. I want to make it easy for people to buy a machine from me, but I don't want people to get into strife with it as well. And some of these interest-free term offers, you can get into strife, so you've got to be a bit responsible sort of thing. So, okay, so Brian asks, I want to go back to Wex. Do you need to tell the government about war fines, i.e. dog tags? Most people don't. Brian, I don't think they'd have any issue with dog tags. Certainly, actually, Brian, I had that question down that we missed last week, but you mentioned guns in the question last week. With the way the gun laws are in Australia, yeah, of course, you're going to have to tell someone about that. But yeah, it's you know, a lot of the stuff the government isn't interested in. If it's of historical significance, you have to tell them. If you're still here, what is the cut-off period where you have to let the Historical Society know? So something over a certain age, you're actually supposed to fill in a form and send it in to the Historical Society. Or no, the government, some government department. Warren knows all about it. So we might get that question answered if Warren's not here at the moment. So Josh asks, is the MindLab Pro Pointer 35 the best one? Across the market, it's generally considered that the Garrett AT, the orange carrot, is the best pro pointer. There are some new ones coming out. I'm really looking forward to the F Pulse, which is coming out. So when the F Pulse comes out, we're actually going to do a whole show on pro pointers, so that you can get we can all get a bit of an understanding, because I don't know whether the F Pulse is going to be better, whether the Garrett's going to be better. So we're going to get all of these pro pointers together, and we're going to just test them out live, and you can ask questions, and yeah, so yeah, Queensland Heritage Acts, 50 years, anything over 50 years. So it's actually a ridiculous thing as well, because when you think about 50 years ago, that is 1966, right? So all of those pennies you find, all those, anything before that, you really need to report it to the Heritage Department. So it's a bit ridiculous. If everyone did that found stuff over 50 years old, the Heritage Department would be swamped. It'd just be ridiculous. So, Alison, I don't think I've said hello to you tonight. Kelly, how are you? Aaron, Deb. Oh, Deb's trying to heritage list Brian. Oh, I don't know whether that. I'm 50 years. Yeah, Brian, we need to report you to the Heritage Department under the Heritage Act. So, 1967, I should say, yes. So, yeah, the new pointer isn't out yet. It's been delayed. I've got them on order, but it's been delayed. Every metal detector release in the world, I think, gets delayed before it actually comes out. So 50 years and old, Tricia, you're right. So, right. So, I've got some questions here. Julianne from last week or a couple of weeks ago asked, how do you balance between work, hobby and life? I struggle with it myself, and I find that because I work in it, I find my hobby, going detecting, takes a back seat, because I'm always around them, and it I struggle with that time balance thing with a young child and a beautiful wife, and that balance can be a bit of a struggle. So, for instance, after the show tonight, I'm going to go for a detect. So that's how I sort of try and manage it. I try and go when they're off doing other things or having a little bit of fun. So, Nadia asked here when the equinox is out. I heard through the week it's probably going to be end of February, so not too far away, 3 or 4 weeks away. So, yes. And what I'm really interested in the equinox is if it, I want to see people who aren't mine lab people using it in the field and testing it. So it'll be interesting. It should be a good machine. They've sold it up. So yes. And on that note, I believe the Equinox range is replacing the Xterra range, the 705, the 505. So just bear that in mind. So with that, so Brett asked a question about the GPX 4500 versus the GPX 5000. Now, Brett, the 5000 is a later machine, but the 4500, both machines really, they mod them up a lot. So you can send them away. You buy a brand new machine, you send it away, someone pulls it apart and improves it. So, yes, or you can buy a second-hand one as long as you trust the second-hand one's working fine. So, they're both very good machines. The 7000, I think, is the pick of them. It should be for $10,000 or whatever they are now. But yeah, it uses a lot of money. You'd want to be doing it. You'd want to be doing it a lot for a $10,000 machine. But the 4500 and the 5000 are both excellent machines. So, Greg, hello. How are you? Lisa, how are you? What would be my best find? Lisa, I do a lot of gold nuggets. So. I do a lot of gold nuggets. I do a lot of jewellery I try to do a lot of jewellery on the beach. I'm sort of only just. I used to do a lot of jewellery in my younger days. I used to do the beach a lot in my younger days, and I'm really just sort of starting to get back into it. We did a lot of testing with the AT Max on the beach, and we found that sort of inspired me a little bit to get back into the beach a little bit. So yeah, yes. So that's that one. Kelly makes this point about metal detectors. It seems like every 10 minutes there's a new machine coming out, and I'm of this firm belief that they don't change that much. So if you compare the let's say the AT Max to the AT Gold, and you compare them out in the gold fields, well, the AT Max is better, no doubt about it. But is it it's new out, sell everything you've got, buy this? No, it's not that. So it's more about a person with a 10-year-old machine who's really, really good at the machine and knows the machine back to front and can just work that machine in every situation is going to be dramatically better than someone who picks up a new machine. It's more about your learning than anything else, by far and away. So, as I say, stick to the good brand names. Stick to the good brand names. You get good resell on it if you don't use it, good resale on it, and if you don't use it or you don't like it for some reason. So that's what I do. But you've really got to go to a, you've really got to use it to get used to it. So, right. My weapon of choice for gold is ATX, Garrett ATX. And there's a couple of tricks with the Garrett ATX. So, Garrett ATX with the 8-inch monocoil on it, I have tested it. I've tested it against a number of machines that are good with fine gold. I think it's as good as anything. For fine gold, I've seriously got 3 or 4 different machines, other brands, and I've gone over a patch of gold with ATX with the 8-inch mono. I've gone over it with another brand of machine, and there was virtually no difference between the two. So don't get hung up on that one's better than the other thing. If you put the large monocoil, no, not the 20-inch monocoil, or in between one, 12-inch monocoil on the ATX, it's a very, very powerful machine. So that's what I do. I run the 8-inch mono, the 12-inch mono, and that's basically how I run the ATX. So that's what I like it. It's great. So, right, let's see what else. Mark, g'day Mark, how are you? Christine, how are you? Mark, at the moment, there isn't, Mark asked if there's a detectorist convention in Australia. At the moment, there's not. There's a token hunt at Wedderburn, I think it's in Victoria, once a year. They get a lot of people there, but it tends to be more of a gold thing. It's something that, down the track we could probably, I have thought about it, I've talked to some people about doing a big event, but the problem is, unlike places so for instance, the big ones in England, in the UK. So the beauty of that is, because it's thousands of years old that they've been using metal over there, you can go to virtually any paddock in the UK and there's good targets there. It's similar in the US where, it's 400 years, but that's twice as much as what we've got here. So the hard thing is, where do you find somewhere that's got good targets on to detect, right? That's willing to open it up to a bunch of people digging holes, who allows, my perfect vision for something like this is an old relic site or an old World War II site that's got a lot of, a big paddock. We can set up and camping needs to happen, camping can happen, and there's a band on a Saturday night and there's some food vans kicking around. So, that would be ideal, but trying to put that together and public liability insurance and, so there's a bit to it, so, yes. Gemfest in Claremont is excellent. The focus is really on gems though, but it's a good weekend. If you ever get a chance to go to the Gem Fest, that's fantastic. Pardon me. So there's a Gem Fest the Gem Fest is actually in Sapphire or somewhere there, and on one weekend. The weekend after is the Gold Fest in Claremont, and they're only about an hour apart. So, yes, that I've done that trip, and it's a fantastic trip. The Gem Fest one weekend, went detecting through that week, then did the Gold Fest or the whatever they call it the weekend after. It was a lot of fun. So, and the same people go to the same event, so you meet someone there, and you know, so it's a really good thing. So, Deb, yes, there is gold at Drake and Paddy's Flat region still. Yes, there is. Trisha, hard to get any detecting done at the convention centre, but it would be a good spot to have a show and have all the suppliers there. I don't know whether there's enough suppliers in Australia to fill a place like that. Maybe there is. Brian, that's very, very funny. Need to have not a Comic-Con but a Detector-Con. God, can you imagine the publicity? Come and get conned into a detector. That's how you promote it. So, g'day Chris, how are you? Good to see you here. It's good to see we've got a fair few people on. So, for those who don't know, I'm Ben from Gold Diggers. We do this every Friday night, and we have a lot of fun doing it. If you've got any questions, please ask away. So, I'll just race over and grab this AT Max here, and we'll see if we can get this this demo going here. So, just bear with me a moment. So, I've got a gold nugget here. If I can open my scales here, might be it the wrong way. So, where are those gold nuggets gone? They're hiding. I've lost them already. So, we've got a gold nugget here that we'll just use a small one here. So, that one there is, we'll turn that on there. I'll get you a weight on it. Just wait for that to upload. Right. So that nugget is 0.3 of an ounce. Sorry, I've just got to set it up here. Grams. So that's 0.88 grams. So, and I've also got a bit of ironstone here. So we'll turn this on here, and we'll quieten it down. So that's on 0 mode. So that's breaking up. Let me just turn the iron audio off. Right, so here that's a bit, that's quite a soft noise, and it won't be repeatable in the other direction. So that's quite a soft noise. So let me just, in case you can't hear that, I just need to turn the volume up here. Right, so see, that's a bit of a funny noise. Now you compare that to a gold nugget. It's a much sharper noise, and that's more pronounced on the 5x8 coil if you're using the 5x8 coil. See, it's much softer, and sort of it's got a little bit of an echo, whereas it's very, very sharp with the gold nugget. So I will do a video. That sort of worked pretty well, but I will do a video on the. I will do a video on that subject, a completely new video on that subject, and I'll either play it next week or I'll put it up on YouTube or Facebook or somewhere or other. Right, so let's just get these comments going again. We've lost our comment feed, which is devastating. So we'll fire this up again. Right, so we've got another question I had this question, I think it was a couple of weeks ago. Jody asked me, is it normal for the AT Pro to go blank on the screen occasionally when there's interference and kind of wig out a bit? She's tried all the connections and also replaced the batteries. So what's going on there, I believe, and I hope Warren might have asked this question while he's overseas. When he gets back, I will ask him. But what I believe is happening there is that the memory card, if you like, I don't know what it's called, but the memory in the machine, I believe, would be overloaded. So what you need to do is a factory reset on it. So if you, and I've had to do it on I seem to do it on the AT Max more than anything else. And it just sort of, one day, like for instance, you'll go to a beach and you'll go to the beach and it'll be running quiet as a mouse, no troubles at all. One day, you go back in the same situation, and all of a sudden the machine is just going nuts, and you just can't control it. That's what's happening. I believe that like the memory for somehow or other gets full on the machine. So you have to do a factory reset on it. So it's the same. The AT Max guys will have the same problem. The MindLab guys will have the same problem. Just one day out of the blue, it'll just go nuts. And you go, why is that? It doesn't make any sense. And I've actually, only recently, I've actually gone down, been on the beach 2 nights in a row. One night, the AT Max ran as quiet as anything. The next night, same beach, same everything. It just went nuts. And it's like, what's going on here? And I actually got in the car and drove away, right? And I actually, I don't know who it was, I talked to someone, I think it might have been Warren. He said, oh, just do a factory reset on it. And sure enough, that's all it was. It needed a factory reset. So, yes. So, now, yeah, so the factory reset. Now, on the I'd have to look at, I mean, there's a lot of machines out there to know all the factory resets on. So, I know on the AT range of machines, you hold the power button down for 5 seconds. It beeps twice. You've done a factory reset. So, g'day Craig. Lisa's here. Warren, yeah, factory reset, software reset. Yep. Kelly, g'day Kelly. Michael, was that clear enough? Could you hear it clear enough when I was demonstrating that gold nugget on the AT Max? So the ironstone or your fake targets or your ground noise will give you that rounded sort of noise, whereas a good gold nugget will give you a sharp tone, real sharp, short and sharp, in both directions. And it may show 00 on the machine and give you no depth reading, right? But if you get that sharp target, I'd be digging all of those. So, yeah. G'day, Craig. Did I say hello to you a minute ago? G'day, Brody. How you going? Anarchy is Gemfest, 9th and 12th of August. And Claremont Golden Coal is the weekend after 17th and 18th of August. If you're looking for somewhere to go for a week or 10 days, that's not a bad trip. That so. Now, just back to that AT Max I was using on the so that will apply to all VLF machines. That sharp target tone and that soft target tone on a rubbishy target. So if you're detecting with a VLF machine, even though the machine does a lot of the work, if you're gold prospecting, you've got to listen to those target IDs, and you've got to listen for those sharp tones and the soft tones. So that's just getting used to the machine. Lots of people, and I've done it, walked over these targets, and I reckon I've walked over thousands of nuggets in my time saying, oh no, it doesn't give you a target ID. Because gold's sort of mid-range conductivity, right, and you get these small targets, right, like that's less than a gram of gold. It's because it's a small target, it's a low conductivity thing, so it'll just give you oh, there's something there. So you've still got to listen to the machine. Don't just blindly trust the machines. You've still got to run the machines. So, yeah. So, Michael asked you to run the sensitivity flat out, and this goes for all machines again. I try and run the machine as flat out as I can. If you run it too flat out though, if you run it ridiculously, you won't pick the sound, you won't pick the target sounds out of the background noise. So I run the AT Max with the 5x8 coil. I run that probably 1 or 2 down from the top of sensitivity. If you're just using the standard coil that comes with 9.5 by 11, you probably need to come down 1 more. So coil size will depend on that as well, because a bigger coil, more ground, more mineralisation under the coil. So yeah, so you know, there's more mineralisation, so you've got to run the sensitivity down a little bit. So yeah, Craig makes a good point. If you're looking for coins, that soft tone can also come with a coin sitting on its side, sitting upright in the hull, and you're only hitting the top edge of it. So yes. Cameron's from Black Soil. How you going, Cameron? So yes. David asked what headphones I prefer. I prefer none, David. I'm not a big headphone person. When I wear headphones, the only headphones I really wear is a set of underwater headphones. And when I'm on the beach or going for a swim, I used to like earbuds. You can get earbuds. Most machines need an amplifier in the headphones. So there was some earbuds I was selling. The guy's not selling them anymore. But the beauty of those is you can have one in one ear. Grey Ghosts are awesome, absolutely. But I'm just not a headphone guy, even on the goldfields. So I've just had a request to do that gold nugget demo again. So I'll just do that quickly while I'm talking. Yeah, do people wear headphones much? I just find, particularly those Garrett ones, they're bloody terrible. They're that hot, they're black, and yeah. So Peter, that's a bit of ironstone. You see here that's a fairly soft tone. Excuse me, folks. Here, let me get that piece of gold out. Where is it? And there's a gold nugget, really, really sharp. Yeah, so that's the difference you're looking for particularly gold. Yeah, other situations you do other things. Yeah, David, I probably am missing targets, not wearing them. So yeah, I probably am missing a lot. But I need a set with fans on the side. I get so hot. So yes, yeah. Peter, when you hear that, and it goes for any VLF machine, when you hear that, you know that that's gold and that's not. So yes. Right. So we'd better draw the prizes. So the first prize is the gold nugget pan. Let me just scroll down the comments here and pick the number. Thank God all these are numbered on the screen I use. So, Lisa, you've just won yourself a gold pan kit. Lisa, I'll contact you immediately after the show, and I will contact you to get your details, and that will be in the mail to you on Monday. And then if we scroll down here, Aaron wins the cool towel. So, Aaron, I will send that to you after the show. Not after the show. I'll send it to you Monday, but I'll contact you after the show. So, I'll just write it down here. Right, no problem. So I'll contact you straight after the show. Right, so that's the prizes done. Okay, did I have any other bits here? Oh, yes, I did have another bit here. Daniel, from a few weeks ago, wants to know about long-range metal detectors. You can buy them in a lot of places online mostly. Most of them come in from Europe and those sorts of places. China makes a lot. I've never heard of one working very well at all. Some of them are 10 grand. I've never heard of one working. So, if they worked, everyone would have one, right? All these big prospectors that have them, and they'd be using them. Why are they still using detectors? Simply because the detectors work, and the long range thing doesn't work. So, that would be my suggestion to you. So, go Geordie, how are you? Yeah, well done, guys. And thanks a lot for your support. I really appreciate it. This show, I really enjoy doing this show, so it's fantastic to have a lot of people on the show. So it's fantastic, and it's your show as much as it is mine. So I just get on here and rabbit and answer questions. So Craig asked prices. What prices on what? On what? Yeah, Lisa, get out there and use it. They're great pans. So prices. I can't work that out. Right. Okay, so we're getting close to the end here. Thank you again for joining in the show. If you could share it, it would be fantastic. We want to. I'd love to be giving away machines on this show, not pans and cool towels, but we need a lot of viewers and a lot of support. So, right, okay. Thank you very much for tonight, and I will see you again next week. I'll update you on over the weekend on Monday about what's happening with the show next week. The prices of the long-range detectors, they can be very expensive, yeah. So they start at a couple of $1,000s and go to $50,000, those long-range detectors, but they don't seem to work, so yeah. Or every metal detector, professional metal detector should have them. Okay guys, thanks very much. I will see you next week. Look out for the update and share the update if you can. I look forward to seeing you next week. Thanks very much, guys.